All right, so we'll start with the L sit so we can cool off the hip flexors. We'll get as tall through the crown so we can stack the ear, shoulder, hip all in one straight line. In this position, we're just going to do our rotations and reaches with just grabbing the nape of the neck and reaching the front arm. The hip flexors can be lit up here, and if they are, that's okay. If they're less lit up than they are here, that's what we're looking for, just something to warm up with, so we're not doing this one just yet. From the front, the one we'll start with is just this position. Nice and straight, legs together, tall. And I'm gonna grab the nape of my neck or the tag of my shirt with my elbow here, packing the shoulder, and I'm gonna rotate, keeping my head forward. I'm trying to reach my hand somewhere here. So I'm trying to reach a handshake to my feet, past my big toes, and I'm taking my elbow and my shoulder backward. But I'm keeping my hips hooked in and tight. So I don't wanna do this. I don't wanna open up like that. I don't want this to open up. I want that to stay tight, and then we reach tall. Chest stays up. Exhale, maybe we go further. 3 breaths. Tall chest, head back and up. Nice. So we'll do that each side. Grab the nape, stay tall, forward. 3 breaths. Tighten the hip flexors, up in the chest. So that's your first one. We'll do 3 rounds each side of 3 breaths, going further if you can. The second variation is with the legs up in that tall seated position. And again, from this position, I want you to bring your chest forward by tightening the hip flexors, as if I was gonna pick my heels up off the ground, but they're not gonna come up off the ground. From that position, I'm gonna get nice and tall through my line, ears to hips, and then I'm gonna grab the nape of the neck, tag of the neck, reach. Again, I don't want this to open up. I wanna stay nice. I want my rib cage to be glued to the hip flexors, and then I'm just twisting through here like we talked about. 3 breaths, 3 rounds. Repeat on the other side, tag, forward, tight hip flexors, keep those hamstrings active, pick up the knees as if you were gonna pick up the heels, but we won't be able to. I'll show this one from the side. Stay tall, don't cinch. Elbow and shoulder back on the right. And repeat 2 more rounds per side. Now the ultimate variation, we'll leave that out for a second. The other one I want to do, and I'm going to leave my legs out of this one just because they're cooking through here. I'm going to get really tall. I'm going to do my reach, and I'm going to take to my end range, and feel free to take your legs out of it too if it's burnt up by this point. We're going to do 3 big nasal inhales. I want to do the longest, slowest, most controlled nasal inhale that I can. I want to hold for 2 seconds, and then I want to exhale for 10 seconds. So 8, 2, 10, and then I want to pause for another 2. And the pauses are important so we don't get lightheaded, and the big inhales are going to expand us through here, untightening a lot of the rib cage musculature and chest, and get the diaphragm stronger. The long exhales are going to make the ribs force down while we stay tall. Because on exhales, we always want to lose our space. We're going to bring space in the neck, space in the back, and we're going to exhale super hard. While those ribs dive, we're going to fight that diving from the exhale, stay tall. So that will look like this. Maybe I reach further, but stay tall through here. Feel the abdomen activate on the exhale. stay tall. And that builds some major space. Notice how on those exhales and inhales, the elongation, I kept moving a little further in some random times. So allow yourself to naturally, organically follow any space that's made from the breathing. So again, on this side, here, here, let's add this guy. Tight through here. That wasn't 8 seconds because I don't have enough. Sometimes it's hard to take an 8-second inhale. It'll look more like 5 or 6. Keep your head forward, don't let it turn like mine did. And pause. It's tough. I would probably do 1 round of that each side, and that might even be too much. So instead of 8-2, 10-2, try something like 5-2, 8-2, or 4-2, 6-2. Basically, just make that exhale extra long so the ribs dive, and make that inhale extra slow so you don't do this. The reason we do it slow is so we could, and you'll notice that slower inhale, you feel it build up more through here, getting more stretch. This inhale just tightens up through here, leaves the diaphragm a little bit unused. So go through those 2 progressions and add that last breathing bit to the previous 2 progressions, and do that daily. Your thoracic mobility should open up a great deal, and your diaphragm should get very strong, and the mobility of your rib cage should get a lot better as well.